This meeting is being recorded.
Hello, everyone. It's that time for the JMOR Tech Talk Show, where we answer questions about technology, explain the way they should work, and why they don't sometimes. And now here's your host, John C. Morley.
Welcome
Thank
everyone
you for tuning
again.
in to the JMOR Weekly Technology Show, where we answer your questions about how technology is supposed to work and sometimes why you have challenges getting it to work that way. For more IT support and tips, just text IT support to 888-111. That's IT support to 888-111, and you'll get tips on technology. I'll see you next week right here on the JMOR Tech Talk Show. Remember, JMOR.com.
Well, that was a quick show, everybody.
Yeah, it was very quick. I went faster than I could even imagine. I was like, they're usually quick, but that was like a real quick one.
Yeah, we came in and then we went away very quickly. The incredible power of technology. Yeah, indeed. So we wasn't looking forward to that one for that happening. But regardless of the fact, we are here. So how you doing today, John?
I'm doing pretty well, Marcus. Just getting ready for the long weekend, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It has started already, and yeah, I can't believe we made it to Friday already.
Yeah. I can't believe it either. I mean, what I can't believe is that we're actually in the first day or two of July.
Yeah. It seemed like June was a blink of an eye. It was an incredible blink of an eye. Indeed, it was. Looking forward to the 4th of July. Maybe going to have a little bit of barbecue myself. And I'm already kind of fireworks out. So.
I think I'm going to go to a local restaurant, outside, obviously social distance and eat outside. And I actually like eating outside. I like eating outside more than I like eating inside now when the weather's warm. And it always makes me feel like I'm traveling, like I'm on vacation, because a lot of restaurants, they don't have the facilities to usually eat outside, but now they're spending a fortune with tents and these tables that are more than 5 or 6 feet. They're like 15 or 20 feet, right? You wear your mask to your table, and then when you get to your table, you take your mask off, and it's like, okay, now we can eat. Now we're safe. We can eat. Everybody's coming to you with masks, and they're bringing you things, and then when you leave, you put your mask on.
Right, exactly. I was walking past a couple of those tables, and people seemed generally happy. They didn't seem very disturbed or very unbothered about a new setup. So it may be something to investigate and try on.
Definitely, and the food's been really good. The restaurants have really been trying.
Yes.
They've been working really hard to do everything they can because they want you back. I mean, they don't want you to not come back.
Exactly.
And only 1 or 2 people I have found that don't follow the mask rule. When you're at the restaurant, they come in and it's like you look at them like, "Hey, where's their mask?" It's like, what do they get? Special treatment? But most of the people have been pretty good. Most people are, I'd say, past the point. Like, when you go to BJ's or Costco, they're like ready to kill you. But now it seems like they've calmed down just a little bit. And actually, I could get a whole, let's say, 12 or 24 pack of Bounty paper towels, which usually you have to tackle somebody to get. There was actually 50 still left on the rack. So I think people are starting to, I don't know, mellow a little bit.
Yeah, I would think so too. It's real good when you can, still, walk in the store and find what you need. Now, you're even starting to see hand sanitizer come back.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Now we gotta wait. Now we gotta wait. Now we gotta wait for the wipes.
Yeah, that's the only thing. So yeah, so I know people were busy entertaining themselves, and especially with TikTok. I don't know if you're a big fan of TikTok, or if you did any TikToking during this whole quarantine period. But I know I have a cat, and he's TikTok famous. So
Oh wow.
but TikTok's in the news right about now. They've been put under the radar here for spying and security. So TikTok was caught copying iOS users' clipboard contents and claimed it's an anti-spam feature. So I don't know what that's all about, but
yeah, well, it was actually June 26th. It was originally reported. It happened right, or actually it happened before that, but that's when they made the big blow up of it.
Right.
And TikTok probably maybe even better than I do. It's a video sharing platform, and it was already very popular. But the thing about it is that TikTok, they promised that they were going to do the right things, and that they said that they're going to end the practice within a couple weeks. But I don't know if that's true, to be honest with you. And I don't really want to speculate as to, why they're doing it. But, TikTok really didn't get developed in the U.S.,
Right.
So because of that, and again, not to call any of our friends or enemies out, but I have to believe that this wasn't an accident.
Yeah.
I have to believe that they're grabbing data, unfortunately. I mean, I'm a pretty easygoing guy and I'm trusting, but right now, I don't even believe the pandemic was an accident. Okay, and that's a whole other topic, I know, but TikTok grabbing the data, they're grabbing every 1 to 3 keystrokes. Are they really grabbing every 1 to 3, or are they, grabbing everything and the system's just not able to pick it up? So I think this feature, we're very concerned because of people's identity. They say it's about spam, but I just feel that a lot of these applications, and you probably know this when you install them on your iPhone or your Android, they ask you to give permissions.
Yes, and there's no way around that.
There's no way around that, and if you say no, then the app won't work, or you pull it up and it's like, okay, I can't get somewhere, or I can't pull it up, or you have to now go into the settings screen and get to this screen and get to that screen and click on this screen. And most people don't even know how to find the settings, let alone, where to change it.
Yeah.
So I feel that TikTok, just kind of being, an outsider to this, I believe that there was more to, what they were doing. I don't think it was all about, I really don't think it was about anti-spam. Social media has been the battle, as you know, with the United States, with Russia and China. I'm sure you know that.
Yep.
And, who has control over data is really the name of the game. And whether we're talking about Facebook or any of these platforms, right? I think our personal data is so important to us, personal information. I was helping a client out the other day, and she had a computer from like the year 1. And unfortunately, this computer was a great computer back in its time, but it didn't have the right security on it today. It was a Windows 7 computer.
Oh,
and the
wow.
person wanted to go
Yeah.
in and check their policy information. And the lady was a very, very nice lady. And but I was trying to explain to her that, it's important that we understand that you just don't go on there. And
Right.
the lady still went on there. And I'm like, well, if you do that, you're kind of doing that against my better judgment. But, you do what you want, because you're still putting in your username and password. And now it's giving up your address and your information on the screen. And it's not secure. And then I saw on there that the copy of Microsoft was not authentic. And that doesn't mean it was like the best diamond or anything, but it means it's not legal.
Mm-hmm.
And the question was, John, how did that happen? How did it happen? An unscrupulous hacker, bad player, basically grabbed your valid license code and left you with nothing. And now Microsoft thinks you have a stolen copy of Windows and has reverted some of the features back, including installing updates, because they don't think you have a licensed version. And somebody else is selling that for at least $50 on the black market.
Oh yeah.
To people that are, not scrupulous. And I'm sure, we've talked about this a little before, that there's a dark web. And, my point is to let people know that it exists, not to tell people how to get there or how to use it, but it exists. And I know a long time ago, I was listening to and watching a video from somebody that says, hey, I have a family, I have people, I'm just doing what I'm doing, and why are you ranking on me? And I got to saying, I'm not here to judge people, but why doesn't the guy get a job or the person get a job? Like, why are they doing this? I'm not discriminating anybody for any reason, but why are they stealing people's personal information, right?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, it seems like, they want to, they say they want to improve the user experience, but, then on the back end, they could be, like you said, TikTok is an outsider. You don't know what type of close relationship it has and loyalty it has with its government. So that's very concerning on that matter, and for then they say they no longer not going to be reading the clipboards on the iOS, and so can you trust that?
Well, that's my whole point. And what I would say to this is that the founder of TikTok actually is from China.
Right.
So I just feel that and I don't want to be saying anything bad about these people, regardless of whether from China, and I know all this came from them. But the owner of TikTok, it's no secret, he founded TikTok, Zhang Yiming, if I'm pronouncing that correct, the owner of ByteDance and Gears Up for Local Stage. And, the founder of TikTok, he's gearing up and what he's doing, and he's looking for a way to be different. But I think the point about TikTok is that he was trying to become the new internet sensation. So he launches this around, around 2016, I believe it was, roughly, give or take. And, he reached over, 500 million people globally. And he's attracting attention of some influencers, right? Because that's everybody who follows, videos like what we watch and podcasts that we're putting out there that, the listeners like you are watching. It's the influencers, that actually help our show to grow to even more great people like yourselves out there. But it's the tech giants, it's people like Facebook and Google. It's attracting their attention. And why do you think it's getting their attention? I'm going to tell you. It's because they're shaking up the marketplace. Okay? Right. And if you didn't know this by now, Mr. Yiming, he's a Chinese billionaire, according to Forbes. So, I don't care what he makes. I always say that whatever you do, you have to do things ethically. Yes. And if you don't, it's going to bite you in the rear sometime. Now, you might get ahead for several years, and you might be the greatest thing since sliced bread. But one or two things are going to happen. You're going to become an internet sensation. 2, you're going to wind up with a police investigation. Or 3, you're going to be acclaimed for doing something so wonderful because you did something so amazing. But unfortunately, Marcus, these things don't happen overnight. Yeah. And, everybody thinks that the claim to fame happens like that. It doesn't. No. Things going viral, that happens so infrequently, right? So I think the whole point about this is that when we decide to do something, we have to do something with the right purpose. And, we've already seen the owner and the CEO of Facebook, and I can't tell you that they're truthfully going to take my information and not sell it to somebody, right? I can't say that. And I can't say they're not going to do it or they are going to do that. But why does Facebook, or any entity for that matter, why do they want us to fax over our passports?
Yeah, that's really, it's really weird,
Right?
Yeah.
And then when you call them up and you ask them, why do you need this? Oh, we're going to open a ticket on that one. On which one? That is like a big pet peeve of mine.
Yeah.
When somebody says they're going to help me with that one or this one, you just know that it's equated with that BS, right? that they don't know what they're talking about. And I feel that, you know, people that are so making Facebook their life, and now they got locked out. Oh, well, the only way to get you reinstated is your passport. But now what's happened is people have challenged this. And I even myself, I said, gee, why do you need that? Got locked out of the account. Well, we really don't need that. You send a letter from an attorney, or say you're going to contact an attorney, and now suddenly like, oh, no, we don't really need that. We just need some validation, and we only need that if you're doing political stuff. So they're changing their story when you try to challenge them.
Wow.
But why should we have to challenge them in the first place? And I know that our passports, I think it said that our U.S. passports are worth somewhere between $10,000 and $20,000.
Jeez,
they get in the wrong hands.
Holy moly!
Right. So we already said what happens with credit. You know, with the people's personal information on TikTok or whatever it is. But you know, it's a challenge. I mean, and look at the newest one now, Marcus. What's the new one? I think they just started happening. What is it? The credit card thing?
Yeah, they're hiding credit card skimmers in online images. So this is really a nasty surprise that's waiting for you.
I think, to be honest with you, Marcus, this is really below the belt. I mean, this is just really, I'm sorry, this is a low blow. And I feel that, you know, already when they were having programs that were, you know, you click on a picture and then it grabs your credit card information. All right, that's not great, but that's at least right in the open, right? A program that's very well known and respected and I've used for many years. It's Malwarebytes. And Malwarebytes is a great threat analysis program. They have a free program and a paid program. And Malwarebytes, for a very long time, has been able to detect things that other programs can't. I've always found that no matter what program you have, nobody can detect everything. So you need a couple tools to actually do that. And Malwarebytes is very good at detecting spyware. And what they've concluded is that what's going on right now is the case of the credit card skimmer masquerading project. And they detected the one when you click on a favorite icon, that they'd be able to get your information by clicking on it. But now they're not doing that anymore, Marcus. They're getting smarter.
Right.
They're taking the code, okay, that really bad, unscrupulous Java code, which runs a script on a website, and they're not putting it on an icon. They're hiding it into the metadata of your EXIF. Now that's your exchangeable information file format. In English, that's that format that your Apple phone puts your pictures into to give you things like your positioning, who took the picture, the name of the device, your GPS location. Okay, so there's a lot of personal information that's stored in your photo that most people are not even aware of. Big time. Right? And that's being done, they claim, for our security, okay? Did you know that even in Microsoft, and I'm not going to get off on a tangent here, but did you know that in Word, if you send a document to somebody, and let's just say you put a threat in there, hopefully you never do that, but if somebody did that or put something that was, let's say, not ethical, did you know that there's information in your document that you save that you can't see that's actually going to reveal your IP address and information about you that could help people come after you?
Oh, wow.
Now, I think that's a good thing in a sense that, you know, we don't want people to be hidden, but I also think there's a cost to our personal privacy. So they're hiding this information in this metadata of the picture. So now when you click on, when you're seeing the picture on the page, it's causing this JavaScript to run. Now, here's the real interesting kicker. Not only are they getting that script to grab your data, but they're doing something really clever. They're taking the information and they're saving it back into an image file. And now your hacker can just go grab that data.
Oh man! Oh my goodness! That's really scary, you know. And it you know it makes you really susceptible, you know, and really, you know, really, you know, it makes your data really sensitive to something that you won't even notice it. It's like a decoy, the perfect decoy.
That's exactly right. And you know, people don't realize today that, you know, when you go online, and I think I've said this to you before, and I'm going to probably say it a million times during our shows, is that people feel so comfortable at home in their private little nook, or their living room, or their recreation room, or their family room, that they feel they're in this impenetrable barrier, right? But they're not. They look like they're secure, but they're getting a false sense of reality. You know, I think the first question I asked you, if you remember last show, was, Marcus, would you give your credit card out to a total stranger? And I think you said no.
Yeah, I said no.
Right? Right?
Completely.
So why is it that people are feeling that this is safe to do online? You know, like it's like this false facade. And I feel that's the problem. People are being too trusting.
So you mentioned Malwarebytes though as the perfect way to combat this, and you said they have a free version of it.
Yes, you can go to malwarebytes.org, and you can go to that website, and there's a thing for free, and they say that you could download it for free. And I think I've talked to you about this before. When you download from sites, if you don't know who they are, you have to trust the site. You can check different information to see if they're secure. But Malwarebytes has been around for a long time now. There are other sites that masquerade and say they have Malwarebytes. Some of them are good, some of them are not. But if you're going to something that's probably very long, like a URL, and you can't really make it out, or it's some weird name that you can't produce or repronounce, I would say there's a good shot that you're probably going to a website that might be going to causing you some harm. You know, so I think a lot of times people like things for free, right? Everybody likes things for free.
Right.
But you probably heard the story, or your friends have told you, there's no free lunches.
Not at all.
Or maybe no free dinners, or no free, they don't say no free breakfasts, but there's no free meals, right?
Right.
If you get something for free, I have to believe that somewhere down the road, there's going to be a consequence.
Yes.
Maybe I'm going to give up personal information about myself. Maybe they're going to learn what my buying strategies are. Now, you might not think that that's a bad thing, but then where do you draw the line, Marcus, between what's marketable data, okay, and things that are just considered personal data that people should track for benefits of attracting customers? How do you draw that line?
Yeah, I think it's a really fine line to walk, and you can't really tiptoe on either side, because one way or the other, it only takes one bad actor to corrupt the whole pool.
Yep. They can ruin the entire play.
Yeah, exactly. In other news there, we got Microsoft, and that's permanently closing all of its retail stores. So what does this mean? John, should we be alarmed by this? Should many people look for more stores like Microsoft to be closing as well?
Well, first thing, Marcus, a couple things. So we all know that we're in a pandemic right now. I mean, that's no surprise.
Yes.
The first thing is that a lot of stores that require people to have foot traffic, they're going to close. Now, I'm not talking about all your local stores like your pizzerias or your nail salon or your local businesses in your town, but a lot of these big stores, they're closing. And some of these stores that people don't patronize, okay, are closing. Now, Microsoft, I have to say, Microsoft always wants to be the leader, right? They want to be the leader. And Microsoft basically has been not much different than Cisco. And just to talk about Cisco for a second. So Cisco, many, many years ago, was a company that you believe was about people's best interests, right? But what happened to them many years ago? They started pulling the roof and the carpet out from small businesses. Now, they say they're out for small business, right? They want to help a small business. A small business is right, 10 to 50 people. That's not what they call a small business. They call a small business 100 or more. So not to get too off tangent, but they're charging people more money for more like their small business, which is really small enterprise, and they're whacking that whole small market. Now, Microsoft is also a follower. I mean, all these tech companies, they all kind of follow each other. Who did Microsoft follow when they opened the stores? You know who they followed?
They followed Apple.
Exactly. They
Yeah.
followed Apple. Now, Apple's successful, right?
Yeah.
Apple is successful. Apple's having some challenges right now in their stores, but they're still doing okay. Microsoft really never did okay. Have you ever been to a Microsoft retail store before?
I never had a reason to go.
Okay. I had the unfortunate experience to go, and I didn't need to go, but I just wanted to kick the tires.
Okay.
Back when I was in high school or college, one of my good buddies and I, we would go out to a store. I'm not going to mention the name, but we'd go out to the store, and we would go hunting for a PC and basically state that we knew nothing about technology. And we'd do this for an hour or two. We'd let them get looped and lost, and then we'd go have lunch. And if we had nothing better to do, we'd come back after lunch and say we're looking to buy this, and we would kind of finish the story where they left off, and they would just give us so many different stories that I'm like, you can't make this stuff up. You really can't. And Microsoft is actually, they're saying to be closing close to 83 and maybe more stores. But
Yeah.
Microsoft is blaming this. Now, I don't like to blame anybody. I don't like to discriminate against anybody for any reason. And I feel that Microsoft is scapegoating.
Yeah.
They're blaming the closure on the pandemic. Everyone you talk to in our world is either positive or negative. But one thing I can't tolerate is blaming something on the pandemic. So if your business is having challenges because of the pandemic, I get it. We're all having challenges. But if you're not even going to try to go back to work or try to do something, you can't blame that on the pandemic. You know what I'm saying? You have to at least try. I'm not saying to do things unsafely. So Microsoft is going to close these stores and maybe even more. Their stores weren't very good. They had somebody there that would check you in. They gave you a free bottle of water. Now, who else is doing this? And they're doing pretty well. The other store that's doing this is Verizon. Okay? But again, Verizon is a service everyone needs. Now, Microsoft, people don't go into a Microsoft store to buy software. Where do they buy it? Online, right?
Right.
Or they go to a local wholesaler like a BJ's or a Costco, and they buy it for not pennies on the dollar, but you know what I'm saying.
Right.
And Microsoft's store was there for one reason. If you have a technology challenge, you could go into this Microsoft store, and they would help you free of charge, right?
Right.
How does a company like that operate these large facilities, okay, paying a nice penny in rent, okay, and not selling a lot of product? How do they do that?
Yeah.
They're helping all these people with their tech problems. I talked to a lot of my neighbors. Oh, yeah, we love to use you guys, but we're just going to go to Microsoft. They do it for free. Okay. we don't work for free. We can't beat that. So now they did it for a branding reason, but they did a bad job. They marketed it as a place that people can come in for free support. That was bad. Okay? Even Staples and some of these other stores like Best Buy and other superstores, they don't do support for free, right?
Right.
Unless you buy something. So Microsoft is really getting kicked in the behind. And now they're saying, okay, gee, we don't want to lose our presence. So what are they going to do? They're going to close all these stores, and maybe more, and they're going to try to open up something called an experience center. Now, where did experience come from? One of the greatest pioneers of all time, and the fan of all children, or I say not the person, but what they created. Do you know who I'm talking about?
You talking about Walt Disney?
You had to take one guess. I'm talking about Walt Disney. You got me. So Walt Disney created something called the experience. And when I was only 8 years old, I went to their programs.
Yeah.
And they were these very expensive programs that would give you a very personalized experience. And what they taught us is that when you went to Disney, they had a guest experience. It wasn't about staying there. It wasn't about the food, because you could go anywhere for good food. It was about the experience. And this leads me to a very good story that I'm going to tell real quickly. You might have read this book a long time ago. And the guy goes in and he says, look, I'd like to buy some fish, okay, or I'd like to get some meat. Usually it was fish. Guy went into the store, and fish was, let's just for argument's sake, say it was $1.99 per pound.
Right.
And it wasn't getting a lot of customers. But about 2 blocks up the road was another store, and they were selling fish for $2.99 a pound, and they were doing a little better. The store was a little nicer. It was still clean, but it had better signage and things like that. And there was another store up the road, and they were doing it for $3.99, okay? And the people were a little friendlier there. They even had some signs suggesting what people should buy, and $3.99, okay? But then, maybe about another mile down the road, there's another store. They're selling the same fish for almost 6 or 7 times what the other place was selling. $7.99 a pound. Now you're probably saying, Marcus, why would you pay almost 7 times more?
Yeah, why would you?
Yeah, I know. Why would we? We always know that getting something cheap doesn't mean you're getting the best value, right? And paying the most money doesn't mean you're getting the most value. But I think value, and you probably agree with me, is perception.
It is.
So we proved that with Disney, that people will pay 2, 3, 4, 5 times more money to go into a restaurant and have this great experience and have these characters and everything, and they pay for the experience. They don't pay for the food. They pay for the experience. They pay for what? The entertainment factor.
Yes.
That's what made Disney a leader. So what was making this store sell this for $6.99 or $7.99 more? Actually, more, but the price per pound. And they were busy. You couldn't believe how busy they were. In fact, they had people out the door, and they were waiting to get into this place.
Mm.
And the reason that they were doing the most business, it's real simple. They create an experience. Here's what they did. When you got to the store, they welcomed you. Nice to see you. You got your bag. You stood in line. And they said, what would you like to catch today? And you held your bag out, and they literally threw it into your bag. That was just such an amazing experience. They would wrap the fish, and they would just throw it in this big bag, and you'd catch it. And it was this experience of being part of the process. And this got people to pay $6.99, $7.99 from the $1.99. So my point is that Microsoft is trying to copy that.
Yeah.
What are they calling their new stores? They're calling them experience centers. They're not the leader in experience. Disney is. But every great capital person always, and business entrepreneur, always seems to take an idea and make it better. So Disney taught it to us, okay? And now they're going to make an experience center, which I would guess is going to be a place that is going to give you, hopefully, a one of a kind, I should say, experience that no one else is going to give you in technology. Do I think they're going to be able to deliver it? I think the answer is no. I think right now, people are not going to want to leave their homes to experience something.
Right.
So I feel that maybe if they did this in 3 or 4 years, maybe fine. Or if they did this a year ago, I think they're too late.
Yeah.
But the fact that they're blaming COVID on the fact that their sales are down, shame on them. So they had a very great looking store. So did Apple have a great store. Apple has a brand. Apple charges a lot more. These phones aren't worth $1,500. I bet they don't make this phone for more than $10 to $30.
Yeah, probably a fraction of the price.
A fraction of the price. And when you go in there, I find I don't like going to the Apple store because it takes too long. I went there one time to have my glass replaced, my very first time. It was a 3-hour process. Not the job, but all the people I got fingered around to. And then when it came time for me to pay, oh, sorry, we don't take business checks. You're going to have to get into another, we're going to have to get a supervisor for you. So I think if you have an experience, Marcus, you got to keep it simple.
Yes.
And you got to keep it memorable. If something is too complicated, people aren't going to invest the time to even see how wonderful of a creation you have. So I believe that Microsoft stores, you know, they fell captive to, you know, what Apple did, and they felt that they could just capitalize on what Apple did. And, you know, they basically copied the layout, the way the store fixtures were. If you took a look, very similar.
Yeah, real similar. You know,
really similar. Maybe not exact, but the lines were there. The colors
even
were there.
with the glass doors.
Exactly. The glass doors and the way they open.
It's very laughable.
Signage. It was just Apple. Whenever they do something, they do the research. Microsoft, as good of a company as they are, they always seem to be very cash hungry. You know that?
Yeah.
They want the next version out, but they don't seem to do a good job on the version they have. Now, we have Windows 10 out, right? Windows 10 Pro. There's a new version coming out. I'm not rushing to get it. We are a beta tester, and I generally don't recommend it for a while. You know, I mean, what is the new version of Windows? Everybody's waiting because now when the new version of Windows comes out, Windows 10 actually came out May 2020, and it was the update to 2004. And so the question everyone's probably asking right now, and I have some bad news for you, there's going to be no Windows 11. Microsoft's numbers just don't seem to make any sense. So instead of them releasing a new and different version of the desktop every few years, Microsoft's now trying to take the Apple approach. Hopefully they're going to learn. And they're going to release a new standardized Windows 10. And they're trying this for the people that use mobile, but they're trying to get their money there. So there isn't going to be a new version for your laptop in a while or your PC. That's great, but they're trying to get into the mobile market. Why? Because if they can do that, then they don't have to worry, because then they could make money on the hardware. So Microsoft is going to come out with, guess what? Windows 12, because they just can't get away from being Microsoft, right? Windows 12 is supposed to be an amazing experience. That's what they're saying.
Yeah.
Again, see, they're capitalizing on that experience thing.
Right.
But I have a feeling that, you know, you can push the doorbell button too much. And if you push it too much, what's going to happen? You know, it's like the person that was crying wolf so many times. The wolf really came, and then when he really needed the wolf, they kept calling falsely. And then when they needed them, nobody came. Oh, yeah, we're not coming out this time. So people are going to get tired of that. But the Windows 12 is going to be offered free. You're going to like this, to anyone that's using Windows 7 and Windows 10. Even, listen to this, now this is a little bit funny, even if you have an illegal or a pirated copy of Windows 10.
Oh, wow.
Okay?
Yeah.
So that's interesting. So that tells me something. That tells me that they want to build a reputation, right?
Yeah.
And Windows 12, not to get too much into that today, Windows 12 is supposed to get more than one battery charge. Microsoft's going to give a date for the release of this. They're hoping within a month or two. We're hoping. So they're saying that within a month or two, they're going to have the release date or maybe the product. It's going to be very easy to use, they're claiming. That Windows 12 is going to surpass all of your expectations for an operating system. I don't think it's going to make breakfast, though. The new version of Microsoft's operating system is going to be part of this new company strategy, which I'm not sure if you've heard about, but Windows 12 is being given free to anyone that has 7, 10, or even pirated software. So we don't condone pirated software, right? But
Right.
why are they doing this? Well, they're doing this to kind of rebuild their reputation. And this direct upgrade that they're coming out with is going to result in some choking. Unfortunately, when a new operating system comes out, well, sorry, even though it's free, your system can't handle those requirements. So it may be time for you to get a new computer. They're hoping that you're going to go to them and get one of their tablets or something that's going to run. That's what they're hoping. And they're also hoping that, if you've been so unhappy with 7 or 10, I think 10 has been pretty stable. But the Windows 12 is going to be a very similar install to Windows 10. It's going to be a USB stick for those who don't have CD and DVD drives, or you're going to be able to download it, and you're going to be able to run it on your computer. So that's going to be, pretty straightforward. The color line now is going to be a green bar at the bottom. It's going to start out with initialization and the copying of the files, the transfer, initialization of the program, and then they're going to delete all of the pre-files that you need. So you're going to upgrade from a previous version, and Microsoft is going to work very hard on providing more active content. We saw that in Windows 10, such as on your screen, and seeing all these wonderful things across the world, but nobody knows where they came from or like where they are. They just keep changing. So I feel that you can use the preview version of Windows, and it's going to be advisable for those that don't know if this is the system for them. But the fact that they're giving it away free, they're doing this because they're hoping that this is going to hit the media very strong. And when the media blows something up, well, that's pretty priceless, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
So Microsoft is trying very, very hard to get their reputation back. I've often said that you could take years and years to build that impeccable, trustful, quality reputation with a friend, partner, or business associate. And Marcus, in a fraction of a second, you can destroy it.
Wow, John. I'm really blown away by the amount of information you've been provided here today, and I'm sure the audience is too. You have really helped us out here today. Really took us into what's ahead and what to look out for. With that being said, tell us more about JMOR. The services with JMOR Connection Inc. With the service you provide, and and where to find you.
Sure, Marcus. So we're a technology company that's 29 years young. You can visit us on the web at jmor.com. We make IT easy, and we engineer technology to grow your business if you are a business. So that means that we can help you take the technology you have and harness it and actually figure out how we can utilize as much of it as possible without having to invest in all new technology. Because you might just need some tweaks or some minor upgrades. You may not have to throw the whole kitchen sink out. So we try to do that always first. And during the COVID-19 times, we operate very safely. So you can be rest assured about that. We help people across the globe remotely, and we'll always try to do things in a remote manner so it's in the safest fashion. But if we cannot, obviously, like change a hard drive, and we're based in New Jersey, and Frank likes New Jersey. We do cover New Jersey right now. And if we can't help you remotely, then we're going to deploy a technician at a safe, convenient time for both of us. And when we can get one of our techs out there, we're going to wear a mask, practice our safe social distancing, and make sure you're comfortable with the services we provide, because we know it's not just about giving you quality professional computer services and advice. It's about doing that in the best manner for your safety as well as our team's safety. It's a partnership, and we're all about education. I'm sure you've seen from these programs, we're about education. And we know there's a lot of superstores out there And I'm going to leave you with just a couple things. Don't play games with superstores. We will fix your technology problems right the first time. And if you want to get on our VIP private notification list so you can learn about offers and new things that we're sharing, as well as updates about technology that you need to be aware of, you can actually opt into our SMS private text list. And you can do that by just texting IT, that's ITSUPPORT to 888-111. That's ITSUPPORT to 888-111, and you will be on our list. And if anytime you want to get out of it, you can. We do not sell our list or give it to anyone. We do value your privacy. So I think when you choose a technology company, you've got to be comfortable. You've got to have a partnership with them and know that they have your best interests in mind. We always try to make our clients know that not only may there be an upfront cost, but there's also a maintenance cost. We try not to let anything be hidden from you so that you understand what's involved and that it's going to be the best thing for you down the road, not necessarily the best thing for our pocket today. We look for that long-term relationship. And like I said, Marcus, we are all about education. Definitely check out many of our unboxings. We just recently did a Dyson V7 unboxing, and this is what great things we do. We talk about some of the technology that you may not necessarily buy because it might be cheaper, and you feel that, oh, it's a cheaper price, so maybe I shouldn't buy it. And then we also do a review in a later video. So we do an unboxing and we do a review. And incidentally, if you or someone you know has a product that you'd like us to actually review, you can contact us through our website, or you can message us on YouTube, and we will be more than happy to get back with you. And if it's a product or service we'd like to review, we'd be happy to give you a little token, a little Amazon or another gift card, just to say thank you for giving us the opportunity to review your product.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for that, John, and all that you're doing to support, all of the people out there in our country and in abroad, who wants to stay up to date with technology or who wants to have their very own technology issues resolved as well. So with that being said, we look forward to doing this again next week, and hopefully we won't close the show immediately and then reopen it back up. So we will.
Now we're going to close it. We're going to close it.
We're going to close the show.
We're going to close at the right time. And someone just asked me before, I actually gotten a message before, John, do you just review computers? And I think the answer, just to answer this again, it's no. We review any type of technology, from a portable little camera like this to iPhones to other devices, smart devices in your home, thermostats, all the way up to large appliances, and we even get into cars.
Nice. Indeed. Thank all that's watching, as well. We got a ton of people watching on Facebook. So thank you guys for tuning in, and
thank you very much, guys.
And those who are on YouTube as well, and on IG, appreciate you guys tuning in, and those who are on
thank you.
Podcast stream, we appreciate you too.
Tell your friends, share it with everyone that wants to learn about technology. This is the place you want to be. The JMOR Tech Talk Show every week. At what time, Marcus?
At 4:15 p.m. Central Standard Time and 5:15 Eastern Standard Time. Okay.
That's right.
All right. Until next time.
We'll see you next time.
Thank you for tuning in to the JMOR Weekly Technology Show, where we answer your questions about how technology is supposed to work and sometimes why you have challenges getting it to work that way. For more IT support and tips, just text IT support to 888-111. That's IT support to 888-111, and you'll get tips on technology. I'll see you next week right here on the JMOR Tech Talk Show. Remember, JMOR.com.